I want to set it up this way because I can use that as a separate video, go out with a channel update, and then this will be all about AEW Dynamite. Let me get the category switched, or not the category, let me get the description done here. So let me just update this here. I am really looking forward to this show tonight. Fight for the Fallen. Tony always does these Fight for the Fallen shows, right? As we go along here, it's a special tribute to the people that got caught in the floods earlier in Asheville, North Carolina. Card is absolutely stacked. Like, I don't know if we could get a better card than what we got lined up here. We got where we lined up. We got our main event, Team Rated FTR versus the Death Riders. We got Jamie Hayter versus the returning Julia Hart. We got the Acclaimed versus the Hurt Syndicate, which, if that ain't a 2-minute squash, I'm going to be shocked. If we, on top of that, they just announced maybe a couple hours ago that they're going to be doing a casino gauntlet match, which is the AEW staple. The winner of that is going to get a title shot at Mox on Maximum Carnage on the 15th, which is, so that's involving Swerve Strickland, Jay White, and Roderick Strong. So that is going to be insane. The winner of that gets the number 1 spot going into the gauntlet. You know Roddy doesn't want to win it because he's going to be the first one. He's going to be the next one who's supposed to come out after somebody gets pinned. That's just the way it is with Roddy. So I'd love to see Swerve get number 1. I'd love to see Jay get number 1. But either way, it's going to be a lot of fun there. And then we're also getting Orange Cassidy versus Hangman Page tonight. So this card is a little bit lined up. So some news came down the wire through SRS. I'm a believer in Sean Ross Sapp and all his reporting, and that's usually 95% of what I follow. And this goes back to Nats fans' comment asking if there's going to be any differences tonight. There are no differences to the set. A new intro is in the works, but I don't think it's ready to go tonight. And the other big announcement is they're using some Max money for Elton John, and Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting is returning as the intro for AEW Collision. So that's good news. You know you got money when. And then let's talk about the one funny little comment that just came up on socials here just recently. Normally, Speedball Mike Bailey streams every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, showing a whole bunch of independent wrestling. And, yeah, all he did today was put a little post on Blue Sky and on X. Simply put, no stream tonight, something's come up. If you didn't know, our friend Speedball Bailey is no longer employed by TNA as of right now. So he can literally go anywhere. Along with the man known as Tom Pastock, formerly known as Baron Corbin. He is officially a free agent right now. But he mentioned on his socials that he's looking for something horror-based. So I'm assuming that he's probably going to work on movies and stuff like that right now rather than actually work on wrestling. And I don't blame him. Like a lot of people have to realize wrestling isn't for everybody. Wrestling isn't necessarily wrestling is something you do. For many people, wrestling is not something you live for. I know we're all diehards and we all enjoy it, but with that being said, you do have to be a little bit careful about that sometimes because that can lead to burnout too. And hell, look at Becky Lynch. Like, she took some time off, wanted to be with the family. And of course, they probably spoiled it that Becky's probably returning on Monday. Which Monday is going to be an absolute gong show as well. Like, let's face it. This might be the greatest 7-day stretch of wrestling that we might see, period, in like forever. Like starting tonight, you got the debut of TNA on Sportsnet, which to them is a bigger deal than a lot of people think. Friday is the first 3-hour SmackDown on USA. Take that with a huge pinch of salt. And then as well as you have the Stardom show on Friday. It's not one of their bigger shows, but it is also featuring Athena as well as Ty Mello. Ty's making her return, teaming up with Mina Shirakawa, taking on Thekla and Athena, I do believe, is the match that's going on. I'd have to double check with Andre in that, but... And then, of course, January 4th, Wrestle Kingdom. That's going to be insane. Yeah, Thekla and Athena on one side, but I think it's Mina and Ty on the other. I don't know if that's the exact match, but I do know those are two teams that are going to be there, so... And you got Wrestle Dynasty. Okay, so yeah, that's the match. All right, that makes sense. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. And then on the 5th, you got Wrestle Dynasty, which that card's going to be a little bit of nuts. A lot of wrestlers have already taken out. You got the return of Kenny Omega taking on Gabe Kidd as part of that card. You got, Takeshita's wrestling 2 times in 2 days because I don't think he's losing. It's a title for title match, so I'm not 100% sure if Takeshita's going to lose that title at Wrestle Kingdom or not. Absolutely love Gabe Kidd. Hey, he's becoming a free agent soon, and he says he hates AEW, so odds are when you say you hate something that much, it usually means you're coming over, like a little warp pipe. So we'll just have to send our little warp pipe to New Japan and pick him up there, so... And then from there, you have the Monday, which is the Monday Night Raw Netflix debut, which is going to be absolutely bonkers. It's scripted like a movie right now, the way things are going. You got Reigns and Solo, you got Rollins and Punk, you got... those are the two I remember off the top of my head. Like I said, I don't follow WWE there, so... Almost time, way too excited. Yeah, it's going to be a good time here, JJ. We're going to enjoy it here. I actually have the Ohio State-Oregon game on right now. It's a little too much of a blowout for what it should have been, but as we begin, and since this is Fight for the Fallen, I do want to send my best wishes. I don't want to say condolences. I just want to say best wishes. Because for everything that happened yesterday in New Orleans or this morning with the gentleman in a truck taking out 15 people on Bourbon Street in a random act of violence. They did have to hold off the Sugar Bowl for an extra day just to make sure security is right where it needs to be, which is the great call, of course. But yeah, you can go on socials and check it out, JJ. It happened this morning, and yeah, they had to cancel. They had to postpone the football game because there was a random somebody stole a truck. Really? Well, we got some new music, folks. Sorry, I'm just. Do yourself a favor, look it up. It's a screwed up situation. Glad to see you here, Zodiac. You're not a screwed up situation. I'm losing control and I think I like it. You know Max Money's coming up, folks. But yeah, you got new music. You don't have a new set yet. That they said they might be working on something a little later here. And once again, they have messaged that Elton John's coming back for Saturdays. Who's Speedball Mike Bailey? Impact Wrestler absolutely, probably one of Canada's best exports out of Ontario. The partner of Veda Scott. And yeah, if Speedball, I don't think Speedball shows up tonight. I think he shows up next Wednesday. If he shows up tonight, all the power to us, because we got enough people showing up tonight. But yeah, I'm looking for this whole card here. And I really want the Acclaim to get squashed here by the Hurt Syndicate. They're starting with Orange and Hangman. Like, come on. Met Speedball back in Halifax at Ultimate Championship Wrestling. Super cool guy. And got the classic Speedball post. But nice. Let's see Heyman the start time to lock. Absolutely.
She's a woman of integrity, of iron will, of impeachable character. Because she's somebody who stands with me, and I accept nothing less. What would you take a bullet for, huh? And then I grabbed this company, this entire organization by the strap, and I dragged it to safety.
I'm glad he said strap. I thought he was going to say balls. Moxley going off tonight.
Adam Copeland, I know exactly what he's about. We are not rebels. No, rebels rebel against authority. Nobody has authority over us. I am king. Tonight, Adam Copeland. You were just the loudest guy in the room.
So I do have to say, having Adam Copeland versus Jon Moxley, I understand that they're... Oh. Oh, God, here we go. So I wanted to say that I actually think it's a really smart idea that your first feud of 2025 is Copeland and Moxley with Christian hanging around. And it actually makes a lot of sense. I know a lot of people are like, well, these aren't AEW guys. These aren't the... this isn't the point that you should be going for. You need to develop new stars. Don't be WCW. Here's the caveat I have for this, and this is why this stall tries to make a little bit more sense for me here. Right now, let's face it, JJ, you're a clear example of this. Not being able to watch Dynamite because you weren't available to the TV channel, but you do have Max, so you're able to watch it. There are a lot of people that have that. A lot of people that watch wrestling before. A lot of people that watch WWE wrestling before. If you can have your main feud on your wrestling program, even for a couple months, like I would say up to Revolution, your main feud involving people that people are familiar with, it makes them gravitate to your product that much more. And to me, it's a very smart move to do this. Do you keep these guys on top for long? I know that Moxley's been up here for a little bit, but I think that was more circumstance than anything. That I think that because of Danielson and whatnot, and they didn't want to. I don't think they wanted to kick this feud, this whole Death Riders thing in as early as it did. But I do feel that it was going to be something that was going to show up eventually. But it just got it got sped up due to the Danielson needing to retire bit, and then But I do feel right now Moxley was going to be the champion going into the Max era. I do feel they had set up Copeland to be here for this first show. Still working at that bakery. I missed World's End. I didn't see Adam Copeland was back. Yeah, he debuted on Saturday. Do yourself a favor. Watch World's End if you can. Just because it's not too often that you get Will Ospreay. Jesus Christ, the roster's so good. The roster's so good that Ospreay gets 2 5-star matches in one night, and I don't know. I haven't heard yet about what the official rankings were according to Meltzer, but it wouldn't surprise me if he gets 2 5s. I personally think most of the matches on that card went very well. And the 2 that didn't, nobody's going to remember because of what happened after. Like, it's funny, Moxley ain't saying anything about Marina Shafir eating a hidden blade from Jay White. Because to me, that would have made a lot of sense bringing that up. So when you want to highlight Shafir, and the fact that here's one for you. They're already showing off the fact they have year 1 up already. And when people think World's End, they think World's End 2023. Yeah, like. But it wasn't as good as 2020. Yeah, well, I think 2023 got an extra boost for the fact that Full Gear main event in 2023 was the biggest ass in AEW pay-per-view history. If you don't remember, it was Jay White versus MJF in the infamous Adam Cole's gonna wrestle for you with one ankle match. And Hangman just tried to decapitate Orange there. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, trash. Just simply put, just hot trash. No, hey! King Exum, how are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well, and I hope everybody's doing well tonight as they're popping in. I love the blown up emoji. Good to see everybody flying in here tonight. It is a great Wednesday. It is a great Wednesday for everybody here. And yeah, just you know that matches like this are a good way to start a show off. Because Cassidy's always the guy that throughout 2023 it was a running joke that Cassidy was always the one. Hey, King, just so you know, I don't mind stuff like that, but we do tame it down a little bit here on this channel. So I do find a few people that get a little offended here about it. Just a little heads up for you, okay? OC's becoming a new fave over MJF. You know what? Like, and here's the thing. MJF hasn't been working a whole lot either, so lack of familiarity breeds contempt. Trust me, and Exhumed, don't worry, don't be too offended. We did talk about dildo on a pole match here about half an hour ago, so I'm not really too worried about it. Just that comment's pretty much at the level where we're at. If you go more than that, I got that delete button there. I'm not going to block you because you're too much of a nice guy. Sorry, I don't mean to carry on about that a little too long here. I just want to make sure I'm not offending anybody here as we go along here. Just trying to... I've never been a fan of specific wrestlers. That's the weird thing about me. Don't hit Jinder. Hey, you know what? Jinder's from around here, so I can't... Oh, geez. What we got? Oh, God. Oh, you're okay. Yeah, fair enough. I understand. I'll keep the editing simple in that case. Oh yeah. Rez ain't doing much tonight, so I think didn't he take the day off today? No, Wednesday's normally his day off, because sometimes he'll even pop in here. Because he's I honestly think he's a closet wrestling fan. Another one of those that everybody says, oh, it's all kid stuff. Okay, he's grinding rank. Yeah. No, I ended up doing, I finished off my season 4 yesterday. Like after, right before stream, I had to play one conquest just to get me over to season 4 finish. So everyone's a closeted fan. You thought it was that free? Hell no. This is AEW. They gotta pay bills somehow here. So thank you for the Seth Rollins emotes there, Nick. But yeah, I think a lot more people are gonna get into wrestling now that it is available on so many more platforms. I'll just simply say, hell no, these guys gotta pay bills. You know why I say it like that? Here's what's going to be a shock to a lot of people. Like in Canada, AEW is on a TV channel, so we don't notice the difference. Starting on Monday, Netflix is hosting everything WWE in Canada. And Netflix is universally on Raw is universally on Netflix. There will be commercials on Raw. Let's not even kid ourselves. There will be commercials on Raw.
Viewers, discretion is advised.
That's what people have told me as well. That a lot of people have told me they'll watch it more since it'll be on Netflix than when it's Netflix. That's the thing. Like, the more it's available, the more people will watch it. Johnny, how the heck are you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you as well. And yeah, like we were just talking about the fact that everybody has Netflix, everybody has Max. Like down in the States, so many people have Max because it is essentially HBO for a lot of people. You're doing well. I'm glad to hear. I love Origin's defense on everything. Just roll out of the way. We do have an ad going on here, so unfortunately I should have lined those up with the commercial breaks here. I'll try and do that a little better as we move on here. Get my ad little thing set up here properly. But I do feel that by the end of the year, Hangman's going to have the title at least once. Nick throws it a hydrate. Well, thank you. I have a little GG Sups in my waifu glass. You know, every streamer's got to have a waifu glass. I'll switch over to Pepsi after for the second half of the stream during WWE 2K24 here. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to 2025 here. Like, chat, throw me out a prediction here of something you expect to see in 2025 from AEW, and let's see how weird you can get, how obscure you can get that could actually happen. And you'll have this stream as a record. It will be available on YouTube, so we can you can actually prove to everybody that you said it. I don't know if I'll go too crazy. I think Mercedes Moné is going to end up being the world champion by the end of the year. I think Hangman ends up being the champion at the end of the year next year. And here's one for you that's going to be a little shocking. I think Will Ospreay does not win the title in 2025. A lot of people are saying he should. I feel that he shouldn't. Save that win for Wembley 2026. Because they've already mentioned that they're gonna go back to Wembley in 2026 for All In. Least wild, start cutting belts. Most wild, Hobbs becomes TNT champ. I will give you that. I'm still the product, and we were talking about this during the pay-per-view, having the Continental and the International Championship combined into the Intercontinental title. And see if Trips wants to sue over it. Timing a little off, but the camera covered for it. That was weird. Normally, Orange isn't as off as he is right now. Like that last up kick from Cassidy, you could see that it missed completely, and the camera didn't turn for it. For this beach break, it looked like they were a little off for their timing too, but the camera managed to cover it up, most of it. That would have been funny to hit a 3 count there. Two orange punches, and it's going to turn right into a buckshot. Never mind. Nope, there's a buckshot. Good night, nurse. That move is going to be protected forever now. And OC can eat a loss or two here. It's not a big deal. Well, somebody's made a heel himself. Who's going to come out to save him? Oh my God. 2 dead eyes? He's gonna have a dead neck. Daniels is no longer an EVP though. Well, here comes feud number 1. This could be a start of a feud here. I'm your friend, goddammit. I don't know if my friends would boot me in the face. Maybe they would. You never know. You could always expect sometimes your friends can boot you in the face just to get you a little boost. All right, here comes Switchblade for the interview here.
We are not starting 2025 off the way I had planned. Now I had planned after World's End by January 1st to be the AEW World Champion. And that plan worked almost perfectly. Blade Runner, 1, 2. And then Wheeler, throws himself on top of the referee, not just costing me any moment, he cost me the moment, he cost me my moment, and that makes me feel words won't do it justice. So Wheeler, I promise you, I will show you over and over again exactly how I feel, but don't worry.
Hangman's lot. Well, Hangman always has lost at the best of times.
Have maximum carnage.
Ooh.
Next week, in the casino gauntlet, I will walk along that path to you, Moxley. But first tonight, I face two former AEW champions, and I beat two former AEW champions. It's nothing personal.
You notice they're not saying world champions because they got Roderick Strong, a former international champion, along with Swerve.
Messiah, it doesn't matter whose house it is. You will breathe with the switchblade.
That three-way match that is coming up later.
Please let this be a squash. Please let this be a squash. Please let this be a squash. I really hope this is a squash. No mic? No mic? No mic? Bowens will be fine.
You are looking live at the best wrestler alive, and tonight he claimed enough of that. I was this close to beating Chris Jericho on Rampage. And before we go out there, I need to know, did you or did you not hit me on purpose with that belt? Hey, why are you doing this? We have an interview right now. Answer the question, Max.
Wow, here we go.
No, I didn't, okay? It was an accident. Get your head in the game.
Hello, Mr. McGee. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. No speedball sighting yet. I don't think we're going to see that till next week.
Come on, because tonight is just you and me. Anthony Bowens and the best wrestler alive doing what we do best. And that's a mic drop.
No, pretty much Caster's at the point where he's not allowed to have a live mic anymore. Just because it's... My wild but not so wild take of 2024 for AEW. AEW wins the TBS and retains our own at All in Texas. That would be fun. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's going to take that long. At Wrestle Dynasty, there is a four-way for the basically a pick your shot match. One representative each from AEW, from ROH, from CMLL, and from Stardom. Willow Nightingale's the one for Willow's for AEW. Athena is for ROH. Persephone for CLL. I think it's Hiromu for Stardom, if I do remember. But either way, I think Athena wins it, and I think she cashes in on Mercedes. And I don't think we're going to wait that long. I think it might be even Revolution. I would love to see it carry out all the way to All in Texas. I do think Athena gets on that card. I'm a little disappointed now because I really don't know what they're going to do with the ROH Women's title at this point. Like, Billy was the perfect person to take it off her, and maybe they do it a third time? Forgot about this match? Yeah, I didn't. I prayed that this was a... Oh, you're talking about the one at Wrestle Dynasty, yeah. I don't remember the entire card for that show, but I do know that Athena and Willow are part of that four-way. And then, yeah, my actual wild take, Bowens wins the TNT champ. I don't think it is.
What were the intentions there?
No longer having missed. He called Lashley and Shelton the Milk Dud Twins. I gotta give him that one there. What a week we have coming. Yeah, like, people say WrestleMania week is the busy one. I think for quantity, the WrestleMania week is the busiest. For quality, we're probably going to say this week has probably been the best all year, when everything's all said and done. Because I honestly don't feel the Three Musketeers. I'll give you that one too. Lashley fighting his sister right now. Yeah, if you guys didn't see that picture, and Max was playing it up as well, the streaming service on the socials. The gimmick where Bobby Lashley brought in Sami Zayn's sisters. Or Sami Zayn brought in Bobby Lashley's sisters. It was actually Caster and Drag. You watching TNA yet? Oh, it starts tomorrow on Sportsnet. I've had Fight Network. Hell, I've had Fight Network for like 4 or 5 years. I'll watch it. I'll have it on the background sometimes when I'm working. I haven't been really religious on it, RK, but I do feel that TNA will get an extra bump. I'm just a little worried about Sportsnet has TNA. Yeah, well, after NXT last night, they were actually showing TNA Classics. They were showing the Naomi Jordan Grace match was a feature one. That was on Tuesday. So you know that Sportsnet's got to go all in, right? Like, and Caster's about to get his ass handed to him. Today they were showed Hard to Kill. Hey, it's like I said off the top of the show. I know that TNA is going to put on a good show. Don't get me wrong. I'm just a little worried about what kind of roster they're going to have. With all these people leaving, I know they're going to get new people to replace them. But at the same time, I'm still in the why is Tessa around camp. I won't change from that. It's under the same category of why I'm not a diehard Oilers fan anymore. When they hired Stan Bowman back, when Stan really didn't do anything to defend himself or recover himself. Max Turns enjoys the Hurt Business since he's Bobby's sister. Maybe. Mean said Tito Ward. Hey, fair enough. That was not a fair match. It never was supposed to be. I expected that to be done a lot quicker. I think one of the two of them is turning. I think it's more obvious that it should be Caster for being a shithead. But this also could be a Camille situation where they're actually looking to get rid of Caster altogether. No Renee this week? Are we seeing the end of Acclaim? Probably. We've been looking at it for about 3 months now. Renee put on socials that she's sick. Yeah, that makes sense. Because this probably would have been a Renee spot. What happened with Camille? Well, How do I put this? Camille decided to put some political comments online that didn't sit well with a lot of people. And 2 weeks later, she got removed from that. Was that last comment that she made with Mercedes that she got carried off there? That injury, we're not sure if it's really an injury or not. For those that are not subscribed, we're going to throw a quick 90-second ad in here so we can try to be on time with the actual show here. So hang tight. We'll see you in a few seconds. I know enough about the Tessa stuff, and a lot of it has to do with the women in the locker room. Not sure why she's acting like it is their business, except women say stuff publicly that they never dealt with among themselves, other than La Rosa Negra, and she reconciled with Tessa. I'll wait till we come back, because RK, I know, is... Because, to be frank, a lot of this... Yeah. I get that. There's a lot of ad break. For anybody that's not subscribed, just getting an ad break right now, so... Yeah, when it comes to... Sorry, I was just trying to put my words properly together here with some of this stuff, but it's been... basically, if you're looking at this from a positive point of view here, the breakup of the Acclaimed is actually... Like I said, this has been waiting for about 3 months here. And yeah, Camille ended up saying some stupid stuff online, and we haven't seen her since. Ricochet... Well, maybe he's enjoying the part of the character, but retweeting stuff from Andrew Tate isn't going to get you in the good books of a lot of people these days. And well, Caster's just being a plain old idiot at the best of times. When you're told not to do certain stuff and you end up doing it, that's... I read the Ricochet stuff as character based. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways as well. As we come back for the ad break. So, RK, I understand that the only thing that's been officially written up is about the La Rosa Negra situation and people commenting on that. There have been other circumstances, and I'm not at liberty to get into them, but I did have ins before that there has been stuff in the past. I'm not going to worry about it myself personally. It's whatever promotion does whatever. Wish Roddy Piper was still around. Yeah, he would have had a blast right now. Speaking of having a blast, oh hi Jamie. This is going to be fun. The return of Julia Hart. We haven't seen her. Hell, since she lost the TBS title over a year ago. Jamie and Julia, they're going early. Hulu put Doctor Strange back up. Yeah, fair enough. Piper and Dusty are watching from a bar in heaven. Absolutely. Well, they're showing Sweet Daddy Siki around the area right now. So he, if you didn't hear, Sweet Daddy Siki passed away earlier today. Two of his most famous students are Adam Copeland and Christian, so... I love Julia's team. Yeah, Wano Hedel, or Hetty, sorry. Wano Hetty, great to see you here, and thank you for the first time chat. Yeah. Was a fan of Promise Braxton, not a fan of putting your hands on anyone. Went through that before, yeah, like... Yeah, I love Julia's theme. I love Julia's gimmick. She actually got into an interview and said that Wednesday was it Wednesday, the new series? That was part of her inspiration for her gear. and her character as well.
255 days for Jamie Hayter. It was 450.
Which just makes so much sense on so many ways here.
Like to have her first match back. Hayter
I think AEW is going to be able to kick it up here a bit.
turned it all in London. And we were at Wembley Stadium last August. And since then has been active. If there was any bit of ring rust,
Trying to remember the other one here, because there were two characters that she mentioned.
does Julia Hart have the poise, have the experience to come into this match at 100?
I gotta take a look at that deal and see if maybe I can get those U2s. I want to see if I can get the Tony Storm U2 from Shop AEW. They had them available during the pay-per-view. I don't know if they're still there now.
Of the collar and elbow tie-up, Julia Hart, certainly the layoff
But yeah, both ladies with new gear. Like,
Hayter now, collar and elbow tie-up,
actually, both ladies had a version of a onesie before. Now they're in.
now going after the arm of Jamie Hayter.
Julia's is sort of like a 1.5, sort of like what Jamie's was. And Jamie's pretty much gone with the two-piece now, so.
Absolutely it is. A handful of hair. Julia bringing Hayter down, but Hayter
And it really does bring a different style to you when you come to the different gear when it comes to wrestlers. Even when it comes to like guys, right?
of course we never ever heard
Surprise Omega is advertised. He won't be here tonight. He's on his way to Japan.
not Jamie Hayter, but it's pretty obvious. Well, I think, I mean, if, to make
It's no different than when Jade Cargill was advertised for the house show run here in Orlando, down in the Orlando area this past week.
a better way to get yourself right back in the mix than to come out of the
She she had a picture on X this week, or I think it was yesterday, her covered in blood everywhere.
Julia Hart against the powerhouse that is
Pretty cool visual, but at the same time,
a lot of confidence.
I wonder when she's coming back, and I wonder who actually attacked her.
Close the distance in the corner. The splash in the corner. Julia Hart is rocked here as Hayter has
But yeah, you're going to notice this week that a lot of wrestlers are not here that you would think would be here. If there's anybody on Wrestle Dynasty, a bunch of them have already left to head to Japan. Especially those that are doing the
Hayter crashing to the ring apron, and now Julia sits her out to the floor.
especially with the Stardom show being the night before, so
Julia Hart crossbody attempt. Hayter again.
like especially Athena, she's got to wrestle the night before. Now that we're seeing Ty Mello back, it's going to be interesting to see if they get her and Anna Jay put together.
What would have been a disastrous crash, and now Julia
Oh, that was a nice reversal.
trouble now.
That is a hell of a bump. It looks horrible, but it is not like really. It's nothing. Was going to be saying it's been a while with Jade out. It's only been a couple months. Wonder how ROH was tonight with a smaller roster. I think they might actually be recording after. And of course, we're in picture, so I got to mute it because Lord knows Metamucil ain't paying my bills, so they shouldn't be getting any free advertising here. Gonna watch Gabe but Omega, but AEW has done like no. Yeah, and that's. They did one small promo after the Statlander Mercedes match about the four-way. But other than that, they have been piss poor in terms of their advertising. And that's always been a fault of AEW. And if I could change one thing about AEW, is get their marketing department head out of their ass. Because I've seen indie promotions do more promoting of their stuff than compared to what AEW does with theirs. Like, it is actually sad at some points watching what they're going to do there. And also, Nats fan, I got a feeling since it is the week after, essentially their tapings are pretty light. I think a lot of the stuff that they're actually showing for tomorrow's show was taped last week at that. Like, that was part of that Hammerstein Ballroom 4-day or 3-day taping there. Because they were taping Rampage and ROH on one night and then ROH on another night. So we might actually be getting some more Hammerstein matches tomorrow for Honor Club. So they usually like to tape them a week later. I did see some ROH wrestlers did actually advertise that they are in the arena watching everything tonight. So with them being at home, there might be an opportunity here to I used to think it was Warner not letting them, but I think they did get in trouble promoting TNA in 2021. I don't know what the whole circumstances behind that was. You're allowed to promote whoever you want. That's not a horrible thing. And even during their partnership, unfortunately, Tony Khan was so new to it that he doesn't realize that, there has to be a little bit more give and take. Like Kenny Omega wanted to do a lot more matches in TNA. Like it was some of the contenders that he wanted to face while he was I think it was 4 belts at the time. The belt collector having all the belts all around the world. I do see an interview where he wanted to do a lot more people, but unfortunately it just didn't work out with the kind of cards. And of course, when you're setting out your top star to a promotion, he's got to be your first priority.
The hammer fist from a very frustrated Jamie Hayter. As now Hayter looking for the lariat. Julia ducks underneath. And Hayter. Wow.
I love how Julia fought that first one.
Could be it. The cover. 2. The momentary pause may have cost the win. Jamie
Why did you not just pin her and be done with it there?
Was because of a bad shoulder, like you talked about, shoulder surgery. Jamie Hayter now kicking the back, kicking the upper.
Wasn't a fan of Julia or Jamie, but I'm glad they're both back. The women's division. The women's division, the only thing holding the women's division in its way here right now is Tony Khan and the damn booking.
bounces back. And even though she's at the disadvantage right now,
In terms of talent-wise, every women's promotion in North America is red hot right now.
Turn her back to Julia Hart. Could be luring her in.
I would almost hesitate to say that booking is the worst part for almost all of them.
favors the moonsault press from the top rope.
AEW needs more booking. NXT is about as close to having enough decent booking for the women's division.
Backheel trip.
And even then, the tag division's a little bit of a question mark these days on how they do it. WWE, like, they're outside of the main feud that they have, they basically have nothing right now.
All in service, or the damage to the neck, all in service of the submission technique. Rising.
But when you come out and you see matches like this,
Hayter get the advantage. She's got Julia Hart.
but I do like the fact that Tony Khan did mention that they were looking for like a C2 type tournament once the roster was a little more full.
Julia, though,
And the fact that we are getting Julia, like Julia Hart's free now. Ty Mello's having her debut at Stardom this week. Jamie's back.
here now. Voice up hard into the fireman's carry. To the belly driver on the knee. Julia Hart on the receiving end of the lariat. The cover. And no.
Ooh, a sliding lariat only gets 2.
From Jamie Hayter is lethal. And now she's really, those pounds on the side of the leg are out of frustration from Jamie Hayter.
And Julia's just slapping the leg there.
Here comes in with that
Camila's gone? I don't know.
downhill, Tony.
It could be a legit injury or it could be just a write-off what they did.
That is now Julia
It could be just waiting for the right time to bring her back, but there's been no mention of Camille anywhere since she got taken out of that storyline with Mercedes. And I'll be honest, I haven't looked that deep. There's enough wrestlers around that I don't have to worry about any particular one way or the other.
Wow, to soften up the midsection of
And as we know very well from Tony Khan, he doesn't have to necessarily release you.
thinking of bringing Julia in the hall.
Just ask Phoenix about that right now.
Crashing hard.
With the impending debut of his brother Penta
Left arm, left shoulder.
It looks like her, yeah.
coming up probably Monday.
That's right, excuse me. Whatever it was. It's the ribs. It was a disastrous landing. But wait a
Julia, with all due respect,
Aubrey Edwards sees it clear as day.
oh, let's throw some mist out. What the hell? She was doing the mist before she left. Because she's part of the House of the Black Throne, right? And everybody that she missed, she changes. Like the last, Sky Blue, when she got hit with the mist, she ended up being a heel. Guess we can let that go? It's actually a very big story point for Julia, that mist. She uses it on Sky Blue, and that's what turned her heel. Will McGee, you're right on what I was thinking of. Willow fought the change, and Nick, yeah, a dark version of Jamie, like it could be insane. Oh, good old Kyle Fletcher. I love how the entire world's like, no, we absolutely need. Guys are smarter than me. I changed my. I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. Wano. I'm not exactly that bright. I've just been around a hell of a long time. Everybody's saying that Kyle Fletcher needs a title right away. I would rather see Kyle Fletcher get over-ripened, and when he gets that title, it really means something. I would absolutely... It would be interesting to see, that's for damn sure, one way or the other. If they give Kyle a title run, like, whether it be a TNT championship, international championship, continental championship, I don't think that he goes near the world title anytime soon right now. He's not built up enough to get to that point. I think he will be someday, but... But how are you guys liking the first hour so far? We have breezed through this. Fletch should continue to be built as the new 2009 Randy? Absolutely. I've always been a proponent, and I'm sorry I'm going to a hockey reference here. We're going to talking about the Detroit Red Wings and their development system pre-salary cap. They would always take the best players and keep them in the minors. And every time you think they should bring them up because they're ready to go, they would leave them down there to over-ripen a little bit. You know, like when you get a fruit and, you know, sometimes you feel like it's time to eat it when it's just turned and it feels like it looks like nice and ripe. But then something in your head just says, look, just leave it for a little bit of time. Just leave it just a little bit. And once you do that, it will it'll be just that much more sweet and that much more juicy. And it'll have so much more of an effect on you. That's what I feel like with Kyle Fletcher. I hate to turn everything into food, but, you know, food is a good thing. But yeah, going forward here, we still got that three-way. We still got... You like food? I think we all like food. I hope we all like food. For some reason, I like food too much. But, yeah, so far we still got the three-way. We got the main event with the six-man tag. Just trying to think of anything else that we have actually scheduled for tonight. There's going to be a couple surprises. There has to be. This is that first night of everything, right? So maybe we do get a Speedball sighting. Maybe we get a Baron Corbin sighting for one night. We do have the Jeff Jarrett moment that we have to do as well, so... The biggest part, Double J special, yeah. I think Double J announces his John Cena-like tour. that 2025 is going to be his last.
It's over. Suddenly, aggressively, violently over.
I just thought of something, folks. What if they bring out Okada to celebrate his win, and all of a sudden he he wants an all-star challenger, and here comes Speedball Mike Bailey up. We could get Okada versus Bailey.
Still the cleaner, and it's not over.
I'm sorry, Omega Okada, that is going to be a all-in match. If you didn't watch it during the pay-per-view, they had the face-off face-to-face, but they had it lined up where the all-in banner was right in behind them. And Omega's back next week. And now we got the all-in Texas sign. Gee, there's no subliminal messaging anywhere here, folks. Dead air, not good. What are you doing?
Came to AEW in 2024, the year of the Rainmaker. I won the
Promo segment to promo segment. All right.
I'm the best tournament wrestler alive.
Is it just me, or is this a little weird for AEW? I don't mind it because here's the thing, and this is what regular fans of AEW are going to have to understand for like the next month here. With all these new fans coming in that have Max but didn't have have TNT or TBS, this is going to be the opportunity where they're going to have to learn new characters. So you're going to see a lot more of these promo things. Oh, here we go. Mercedes money. Rainmaker ring on me. I will just put that sound out there. You can make it go whatever way you want on that one. I love it. As Vince McMahon always said, act like your fans didn't watch last week. Yeah, in many ways. If anything, Dynamite should be promo light, to be honest, for the next few weeks. Yes and no. When you have somebody here like Mercedes, CEO. Oh, it should be promo heavy. Okay. Well, there you go. Sunday, Wrestle Dynasty. We got Mercedes and Mina title for title with the Rev Pro Women's Championship from England on Mina Shirakawa, and the New Japan Strong Championship for Mercedes. This could be the beginning of the end for the Mercedes reign as TBS and New Japan Strong Champion. This is why I think Athena kicks in a little bit earlier, right?
It was so amazing that I had AEW put together a very special package for all of you. So Happy New Year.
I think that many people are saying Mercedes has left a very special package for them. But I digress. Mercedes has started to find her stroke at 8. Absolutely. Like, and Wanahedi, I do believe having this more. Oh, there you go. Showing like the Sports Illustrated matches of the year kind of thing. Even though Statlanders, I think, was better here on Saturday, but I digress. It's. There you go, Nats. I'll just throw you that one there. Mercedes has been fighting her groove. That match against Britt Baker brought up a lot of questions, but at the same time, it's now, instead of having a redemption tour for Mercedes for the time she took away from WWE. Now it's going to be a time for Britt Baker to do her redemption tour because of all the crap matches she had. I still haven't had a chance to watch this match, and I do in so many ways. So Mercedes isn't Goldberg at this point.
And if you thought 2024 was money, just wait till you see
Not gonna lie, this feels like a Raw after a pay-per-view with all the packages.
because the first stop on the money.
It is a new year, right? And it is a new streaming station. You're gonna see a lot of this also at WWE when it comes to Raw on Monday as well.
I will pit my New Japan Strongest Championship on the line against Mina Sharp.
Oh no, it feels great. Like
Mina,
you're gonna have a lot of new people trying to learn about the product, and the fact that they show these promo packages helps them learn. And the more that you can get a personal connection with these wrestlers, the more the opportunity you're going to be able to watch them and actually appreciate them a lot more. More chance you're going to come back. So this is the... Are we just going to fade to black on this, or are we getting some other music? Because to me, this feels like a missed opportunity here if there's no other music. And here comes the ad for the donations here. If you can, please donate. I highly recommend it. And yeah, Zodiac, it's JJ, to answer your question about this, and Zodiac's bang on here. Her earlier matches coming into AEW made us honestly question if it was worthwhile for her to be here. Because she really wasn't... there was a real question as to whether she actually did have the goods to warrant everything that was going on. But now now Mercedes is starting to find her groove to the point where maybe it was her, but it isn't her anymore. That's the problem. Early on in her time here, it definitely was. Her promos were dreadful. Her matches were questionable depending on the size of her opponent. And yeah, it just... both of them have improved a lot. Dynamite is fine. I just can't see how they're going to make Collision relevant. The thing is, now you put it on Max, same thing. Just let it... do more packages, do more understanding of everything. So they've already put $25,000 from Fight for the Fallen. It's not $1 million, but it's definitely money. Oh, and there's another 25 grand. So here's 25 grand for you. Here's 25 grand for you. Here's 25 grand for you. And RK definitely considering the different platforms all three are appeared on. They're getting... I want to get through this promo here. They'll get to your comment here, RK.
Feels damn good because the Undisputed Kingdom is now complete. Trust me when I tell you that 2025 will be our year. Ain't that right, Kyle?
Oh yeah, we've got all the bases covered. Trios, tag team, singles matches, and triple threats. Ain't that right, Rod?
Oh, fellas, I couldn't have said it better myself. But tonight I win and guarantee myself a spot in the Casino Gauntlet match next week. And when I do, remember, fellas, it's every man for himself.
You got it.
You know what? It shows it's real. That's the thing, Nats fan. And yeah, just go back to RK's comment here. We actually talked about it off the top of the show during our little pre-show part, where you're going to have so many new wrestling fans form over the next month here with the introduction of Netflix, with the introduction of Max. in Canada having the introduction of TNA on Sportsnet. Because 360 is basically the throw-in channel when you get the Sportsnet package. So you're going to get a lot more fans there. It's great for wrestling overall to have that. So, and in terms of showing them roll up the ring like that, it happens in WWE as well that they do that. Especially when they have they try to book a match immediately following a promo segment. They show the crews doing it, so it's not that big of a deal. And yeah, great. That $50,000 was absolutely spectacular. Actually, sorry, I got to finish one point, then I'll get to the next one here. No idea how the area will fully recover. Yeah, when it comes to disasters, that's always a problem. That you don't know if you're going to come back, right? But every little bit counts, and yeah. I wish there was more I could do for him right now, but there's so many different charities going out there right now, and so many people need help. Just all I ever ask is just try to be the best person you can at this point. From Tacoma, Washington. We don't have to pay to watch Collision anymore. I don't have that channel, so I'm going to have to pay for it. Discovery, for some reason, isn't in my package, and when I tried to turn it on today, it says you don't have this channel, you need to subscribe to it. Well, looks like I'll be paying for it. But I could use the money for the Fight Network to cover that, so I'm fine with it. So it's a little bit of a saw-off. I get to save my $15 a month for the WWE Network, which I don't get anymore. And then, yeah. Wish the love of the jumpsuit. Yeah, Nana's a real fashion template sometimes. That's the kind of jumpsuit I need here on stream. Could you guys just imagine me walking in with a sparkly one like that? Probably almost the same size, I hope. Good thing I have Discovery. Yeah, I've gotten rid of as much of TV channels as I can because I'm basically just a sports guy for the most part. I'm going to get it straightened out tomorrow so I don't have any problems on Saturdays. So, wish the best for the Undisputed Kingdom with Wardlow or not. Yeah. I love how they got Maximum Carnage, the name. If you guys remember the video game, shout out to all your Spider-Man fans out here. New turf for you, Nana's clean. I remember that, JJ. Let's just... I'm assuming Ricochet's going to interfere in this match. I don't... He might. I just don't think Roddy should eat a pin. I really don't know who's going to eat a pin on this one. My God, Swerve is just seamless here. What do you guys think about the smaller venue and the large crowd in it? This is like the second show that, with the pay-per-view being the first one, where they've had the smaller venue with the sold-out crowd. Still can't believe Swerve was cut from WWE. I can. He was cut by an old man that always put the smaller guys even further behind any of the bigger guys talent-wise, and then threw black guys even further behind. Like, I'm not going to pull punches about that. Vince was a dick. Unique loud crowds is what I see, and this is good, yeah. Like it's not tiny. It's a nice mid-sized crowd. When was he cut? Oh yeah, they were cutting everyone. I almost believe the rumors that they did it to blow to AEW Raw. Yeah, like Swerve, I believe, was part of the that. You remember that first set of cuts after AEW was formed because everybody signed a 3-year contract. So around 2022, 2023, that part right there, that's what he was cut up there. So. But I'm sorry, I'll still stand by my comments about Vince McMahon till the day I die. Or else Bobby Lashley would have been world champion rather than ECW champion. Sorry, I just... That's my thought on that, and then... Swerve had so much potential in NXT, and they just couldn't find how to figure it out. And look at everybody in Hit Row. Like, AJ Francis has got a free... his deal's free up right now. Not that I want to see him, but he is available. Oddly, Lashley's got a record saying liking McMahon. Said he thought he was a McMahon. Well, of course he thought he was a McMahon guy. He was big. Oh, he resigned? Okay. Happy to see it. We're actually really happy to see it. I don't want to see anybody out of work. I just want to see people assigned different spots. And the only people I don't want to see signed are the people that don't want to be there. Now, straight up, I prefer that if it is a Discovery, it is USA Network. It is strange seeing that on the channel menu. Yeah. Oh no, I've seen it. Channel 701 on TELUS. It just says it. I just can't find it in my channel packages, and I'm gonna have to find out what TELUS is doing about getting that available to me so I can actually order it. So it is a weird logo too. It's not the same USA logo that the States has, so maybe that's intentional. I'm hoping that's intentional. But I can imagine how many confused people there are going to be in Canada on Saturday. Granted, they probably weren't getting a big number to start with, but at the same time, trying to explain to Canadians that it's on USA and then the Americans are chiming up saying, no, it isn't. That's the one that's going to... That's where we're probably going to run into problems on Saturday for the most part. So if anybody's trying to help your Canadian brother and try to find out where Collision is on Saturday, please remind him that it is on USA Network Canada, not USA Network. That way when people start chiming in, once again, as usual, you can probably prove them wrong, which most people usually do these days, but I digress. Interested to go for this high spot in the middle of a commercial break right now. Could you imagine if you had a regular break right now and you're just coming back literally to seeing somebody getting suplexed off the top?
Streaming on Max, Switchblade, Jay White, Roderick Strong, and Swerve Strickland all vying for the #1 spot in next Wednesday's night Casino Gauntlet match, and a dangerous situation playing out before.
It's so funny here. Like, these guys are fighting for the #1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet. The Casino Gauntlet's the only match that you probably would want the #1 spot for when you have to be an Iron Man. And the reason is, if you can win it with the first two people, nobody else gets out there and you're successful.
Back into the mix and with the upper hand. What you call getting your jaw set. He is ready to go. And he connected perfectly.
UK is pretty weird too for AEW. There's no HBO, and WWE was on TNC Discovery. Yeah, like... Also, like to consider that you have the Fight Network on FITE in Europe was covering a lot of the AEW stuff as well for a lot of the countries in Europe. So a lot of people were looking at FIGHT here in North America to see if it was on there instead.
Anticipation by Roderick Strong. Countering the flatliner attempt. Now the sliding dropkick to the side of the head of Jay White. Swinging a miss. Strong. Drives him down now. Transitions back to his feet. Roderick Strong. Tiger. Driver.
I love Roddy when he gets the chance to get on a roll here. Like, it's so great just to sit back and just admire three guys who could actually work like this in the ring.
Dynamite from 2019 streaming now on Max. And Tony, this match, of course, is for the #1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match taking place next.
I don't think Roddy knew that he was going to do a Swerve stop there, and Swerve had to improvise at the last moment. Oh yeah, here comes workers in the proper sense, yeah.
Roderick Strong, Jay White, meeting of the minds. Swerve rolls White through, comes flatlines him.
Appreciate the flatliner. We gotta see.
That Casino Gauntlet match next week, you can end
Ricochet's got to show up here. I think you're bang on, McGee.
crucial to give yourself the best chances.
If not, you have Swerve eat the pin, and you have Ricochet come out here and laugh at him. That I would love to see as well. Just a response to the TP on Saturday.
Turning to Roderick Strong, drives the boot to the face. I think Swerve had lost track of Jay White. He's looking around. Now he's Swerve's caught Jay White. He sees him up against the ringside barricading him. Yeah, there he is. Swerve Strickland.
Swerve going for the PK. Oh no, go for the Mafia boot.
Kick into the jaw. Jay White spun around.
Scissors! All right, well, we knew he was coming down.
Absolutely, and Swerve has been decked. Swerve could have some lacerations on his forehead.
Oh yeah, Swerve's blading right now. That's for damn sure.
Face down. It's a chance for Roderick Strong to
And this is where Roderick eats a Blade Runner.
Strickland may be effectively neutralized for the rest of the match. Roderick Strong.
There it is. Most protected move in AEW. And once again, Roderick is going to be the first guy scheduled to come out after the pinfall in the Casino Gauntlet match. I'd love to see Switchblade and Moxley one-on-one. They need to give Jay White a title. I think so. He's gonna get there. I think they want to wait for everybody to come back though. Ooh.
That's not surprising. He even got one of his scissors on the forehead.
This is gonna be sick. And I don't mean that in a good way.
His right hand for that caliber.
And Swerve is in no condition to defend himself right here. This is
Wait a second. Excuse me. May I interject one little piece of question here? Assault with a deadly weapon? Attempted murder? Am I wrong here? Should Ricochet not be on the way to jail, maybe? Crime counter definitely goes up by 1 here at this point. This is going to be a fun match at Revolution. Well, Nana eats the stairs. You're a manager. You don't take more than one chair shot. Remember that. They have arbitration AEW. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I love how Ricochet just looks so... He looks like that nerdy guy from The Office. Well, if you're not going to join the Hurt Syndicate, this is a way to do it. Ricochet said tired. I'm ready to see the heel. Yeah. He's been doing it for a few weeks here, JJ. Ricochet, Adam Cole, yes please. Ricochet, Kyle O'Reilly, yes please.
Ricochet has completely lost it. I'm glad someone
What's the significance of the scissors, though? Is that what he used to cut his TP or what?
That's a very dangerous thing to do, to intervene when a man's got scissors in his hand, right? You gotta rethink yourself.
They're sharp. Well, Ricochet isn't.
Ricochet now. There. Trying to drag Ricochet away from the building of Swerve Strickland. The bloody Prince Nana is down to our right, and this is...
Well, if this was a plan for Ricochet, he really succeeded. I don't know where Swerve's gonna go from here.
Watch the Kingdom beat up on him now. Why are they gold? Has scissors because of his luscious hair. Oh yeah, I guess Ricochet has to cut his hair once in a while here, so that makes a lot of sense. Oh, that's right. Saturday we're getting Tony Storm and Deonna Purrazzo, Private Party, and the Incredible Bowser Boys, Daniel Garcia, Mark Briscoe. Well, they got pretty much everything lined up here. This is going to be a lot of fun. The Hurt Syndicate's colors go. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Speaking of fair, we're about to hit the commercial break here, so I will throw one up here early for you just so we can get through it. But yeah, I'd love to see if the Hurt Syndicate is a part of this eventually. Ricochet might end up being the hired gun for the Hurt Syndicate, so that would make the most sense at this point. So, but yeah, so we still have Powerhouse Hobbs in action, Jeff Jarrett's announcement, and the main event. So I got a feeling we're probably going to get Jeff Jarrett's announcement first. And since it's in North Carolina, they'll bring him out to the ring so he gets the extra pump. And the Hobbs match will take all of 2 minutes. They just want to keep him strong after an awesome fight with Takeshita. Like, a lot of people did say it ran a little bit long, but I still feel it was a hell of a match between the two. And it basically did a lot to establish Hobbs in that level, coming off that injury that he's been gone for so long with. Then the main event, this place is going to come unglued the whole time. And we're probably going to end up with a Pier 6 between Moxley and Copeland to finish it off. Could you imagine if we get Beth out to take care of Marina tonight? I don't know if you want to play that card this early, but it would be a fun card to play regardless. but regardless, this has been a fun show already to start off, and I'm very happy and very, very excited about what we got going on here with AEW, and just how everything's working until the end of, pretty much to the end of what is this? 3 years, 5 years? This deal with Max here. I just want to start seeing wrestling get the exposure it deserves all around. It would be nice to bring back Dark at Elevation. There might be a possibility. There might be a small chance that one of those shows might come back. It all depends on what Warner wants in terms of content. Like, AEW still shopping around Shockwave apparently, so we'll have to see how that goes. For all I know, it could be a 1 hour highlight show from other programming. Or it could be a show all the punks itself. If you didn't hear... Oh.
Sanjay, I've been trying to get a word with Jeff Jarrett all day. Haven't been able to find him. You guys talking to him? Of course we talked to him. He's our buddy. But right now he's not answering. So, hey, Jeff. Guys, y'all know I've been here all day. A lot going on. It's a really big night for me tonight. But you know where Karen's at?
Marvis, give us a second, would you? Jeff, it is a big night, and that's why I want to ask you, are you sure?
But before you answer that, just know that whatever you're planning, we will support you 100%. But
we want to make sure that you're sure about this.
exactly.
Yeah, no regrets.
Zero regrets. Jay, Sanjay, the three of us, we go.
I needed a minute. I know this business is what brought us together, but it is also what has almost completely broken you at times. I know it's what's in your heart, and that's what makes this so hard. But what you want, I want.
Okay.
Breakable, you and me.
So did you retire, or I was saving for the Rumble, but I changed my mind. I just seen the list of indie shows coming. Hey,
I'm still not saying no bad things about the women's division. I think the women's division is great. Okay? Good. Now let's talk about why. I had more matches last year than any other woman. In fact, nobody else in that locker room even cracked the top 10. They were all either faking injuries, failing auditions, or they can't even remember who they are. Meanwhile, I was doing
okay.
than any other woman alive. I left a trail of
Or in the words of Zodiac here, oh hi Mariah.
made it look so easy, you didn't even realize how good it was. I don't have epics. I am the epic. And now it's time for the greatest women's division to prove themselves to me. I am the woman from hell. And I am still standing on your necks. And you want a chance to even breathe again? You're gonna have to work for it. You can't touch me. I'd love to see you try.
Okay.
For as horrible of a person as Mariah May is, she makes a great point. She survived.
I wonder what's going to be the announcement. Well, Jarrett's going to pull the... I think there's a potential that he's pulling the... those are the original boots. Pull the Mark Henry here. I will never retire. No, as much as WWE in many ways has priced themselves out of the market, JJ, for a lot of us. Like, we'll watch it on whatever platform we can, but in terms of actually going to shows,
I'm telling you, he's one of the greatest ever step in the
I
ring.
guess we'll get started by saying Slappy New Year, Asheville, North Carolina.
Slappy New Year.
All right, let's get right down to business. You know, over the last few days, I've been trying to figure
ocean of gratitude. There are so many things that I have to be thankful for.
Truth be known, WWE got to please its stockholders. Yeah. Until the tickets aren't sold, they are going to put a price as high as humanly possible.
And you know, it's sad for me to start thinking about things coming to an end. But when I started thinking about things coming to an end, it made me think of how everything began. For the Jarrett family, it started in 1946 in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. My grandmother took a second job selling professional wrestling.
There is still a ton of elimination. Yeah, like
Decision.
a lot of people are waiting for that price to drop, and I think that's something that
And it changed my entire family.
like I know when AEW and WWE came to Edmonton, that's what I did. I waited for ticket drops, price drops. I didn't have to get a ticket right away. I waited until like a day before.
Reward decisions, and she became the CFO of the Tennessee territory, as it's commonly known in this industry. And then my dad got into the business. He promoted shows in high school.
Lawler versus Jeff Jarrett in All in Texas.
He became
No, please, no.
Would that be a good enough answer for you?
After a series of a lot of high risk and high reward, he promoted in the Tennessee territory for 40 years. And then that brings me to 1986. When I got into this industry,
And a lot of Max viewers are going to know all about Jeff Jarrett too.
board decision. Against my family's wishes, against specifically my mother's wishes, I was playing college basketball as a freshman, and I dropped out of school and started my career.
Yay! All about dropping out of school.
And on about the high risk, high reward.
Jim Cornette next week.
One more. In 2000,
Let's just back that up a bit.
I told myself,
I'll even. No, that's so bad. I'll even pull the whistle out.
and in my professional opinion, that promotion has produced some of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time.
I love how a TNA is getting mentioned on.
But that brings me to tonight.
They can cut the what the shit. If he's retired, you let him talk. Exactly.
As a 12-time World Heavyweight Champion, 2-time Hall of Famer, I have to ask myself, should the last outlaw just ride off into the sunset?
And everybody's like, no! As long as it's not against Ric Flair, I say no.
And then
Don't do it, slap nuts.
hell no. Because the thought that keeps going through my mind is, Jeff, when you've taken the biggest risk of your life, you've got the biggest reward. So I'm here to announce I signed my very last professional wrestling talent contract. I re-signed with AEW.
There we go.
Because the last outlaw wants one more ride. And I'm not just talking about any ride. The last outlaw wants AEW gold.
Okay.
I'm talking trios title. I'm not talking tag title. I'm talking about taking the biggest risk of my career. And hell yeah, I could fall flat on my face. Hell, next week there's a gauntlet. Put my ass in it. Because I'm here to say,
Could you imagine Jeff Jarrett and John Moxley?
2025, the last outlaw, his New Year's resolution is that I want to become the AEW World Heavyweight Champion.
You know what they do? So Goldberg's coming out. Here's what they do. Here's my prediction. Jeff Jarrett wins the title in Calgary at the Owen Hart Finals. He loses it 2 weeks later in a rematch. Whoever the champion is. Whether it be Lethal, whether it be Darby, whether it be Christian. Christian would be a hell of a choice there. With the TNA history there. And think about it this way. We go to Revolution, and it's Moxley versus Copeland at Revolution. And then you have Christian cash in that automatic contract once Copeland wins the title and is completely run down. Then you have him go up to the Owen, which is after Double or Nothing. You have Christian win the ladder match between Copeland and Christian, which inevitably is going to happen here somewhere. And then after Double or Nothing, you get to that point where the Owen comes in, and that's where you can fit in the title reign for Jeff Jarrett, even if it's a small one. Hey, Jaron, good to see you here tonight. 2 weeks away, Christian Cage versus Hook. Another filler feud. All right, time for our Already in the Ring match, I do believe. Oh, they're getting the handicap match treatment. I love it. Oh, goody. John Cruz in here. There, boy. Here we go. Both these guys are dead. This might take 2 minutes. R.I.P. Rock. Well, John's most famous point in AEW right now. John is a regular enhancement talent whenever they're in this part of the world. He's the guy that literally is doing this. Sorry, let me shrink it down here. He's doing this as he's flying through the air when Samoa Joe does his walk away. If you've ever seen the photo of a guy just shaking his arms while Samoa Joe walks away on the dive spot, that's John Cruz. He will be in AEW infamy forever. Forever, ever, ever. Like, he's literally got his arms up, literally, probably just trying to say, what the So, Kilroy is a killjoy because he's going to get destroyed. Oh, God, that's got to suck. And there you go. There's your 2-1 match in under what, 2 minutes maybe? So essentially he did so Jeff Jarrett actually did pull his John Cena. It's just a little bit longer than what he's doing. Oh, that's where he is.
This place is great. It's good. It's alright. Well said, Apple. It's alright. But the Nueve, he's not coming here. Oh, the hometown heroes.
Really?
I don't know who should be more ashamed. Y'all three for being proud of Asheville, or the people of Asheville for being proud of you.
Big Bill's a dead man.
As the learning tree always says, home is where you find yourself. And we find ourselves in situation where the hometown heroes need to be taken down a branch or two.
Yeah, rated R, dumbass.
That's the best you got? Did Jericho feed you that line in your little earpiece there? No, he didn't? He has to prove everything, right? I tell you what, you're not a bad apple. You're like a little tumbleweed floating around. And you, God, your face is stupid. Charlotte, North Carolina, this Saturday, Collision. What do you say? Rated FTR against the Learning Tree. See you, kid. Bye, guys.
Oh yeah, there we go. They look like twins. One's a taller twin than the other one here, but cheap heat, but not heat. Very. Oh, there's Sweet Daddy Siki there. There's the memoriam shot. And this match would make sense. There's the edge humor. Yeah, that's pretty much what you expect at that point. So. But as per tradition here, as we're getting to our main event, I do run down what's coming up on the channel here over the next week. So buckle in, folks. And by the way, subs are 25 to 30% off for tonight only. As well, this is the last night of, if you give 5 subs, Valorant gives 1 for free. So no obligation whatsoever, but if you are interested, feel free to throw in the sub button and save yourself a little bit of money tonight. So. But let's go through the quick rundown here. What's coming up the next week here? I will be back tomorrow afternoon. All depends on when I get off the phone with Telus. It should be around 1 p.m. Eastern. Stellar Blade. We are about 2/3 the way through the game. We are starting to get to the good points here. We're about to head to the desert, and there's another big monster we got to deal with. If you guys want to see me jump, because I'm not very good with jump scares, and there's a few in this game. Feel free to stop by. No stream Friday. We'll be back here on Saturday with AEW Collision Sidecast, as well as weeks 3 and 4 of WWE 2K My GM SmackDown mode, Season 4. If you aren't familiar, right after we're done here, after we're done the show, we're going to take a break for about 5 minutes here as I get the Xbox set up, and we are going to do weeks 1 and 2. And then Sunday, I'm going to be debuting a new game to the stream. Or it depends how close we are to finishing Stellar Blade. I might just finish it off so we can start out fresh coming up this week. And then we will be here Sunday regardless. And then after Sunday, I won't be back until Wednesday this week. Wednesday, we will... with AEW Dynamite once again, and the first PLE of WWE 2K24. So we're going to be 5 weeks in a week. So just make sure you hit the follow button if you haven't already. That'll tell you anytime that we go live. You know, you never did the Is It Nintendo ring. Or are you talking about the Ring Fit? Just trying to figure out what you're talking about there, JJ. In the meantime, we just want to say thank you for being here. Always appreciate all of you. Oh, talking about the Ring Fit? I do it off stream. I don't do it on stream. And, just... exercise streams are something that I don't do a lot of anymore, especially now that I have long COVID. So... it really wouldn't work too well for a stream because, well, frankly, whenever I use the Ring Fit or any of those exercise ones, I'm usually at about maybe 50% of what you would do. And I don't need to be embarrassed on stream with that, so. I love how it says pipes and basses behind them.
Now it's time for retribution. See, something was taken from me. Something that I did not lose fair and square. My Triple B! My championship!
This is a feud I didn't really expect.
For all I care, you can burn this entire company to ashes. All I want is my championship, and I don't give a damn who has it, but I am getting it. Come hell or high
He's such Roddy Piper. Yeah, well, that's his biggest influence, right?
It's 2025. The devil gets his due. Part 2.
All right, well,
MJF, his New Year's resolution is
that actually would be a lot of fun.
John Moxley, a marked man.
Moxley versus MJF, that would be a lot of fun.
He has looked unstoppable.
If they could have it one-on-one.
They want the world title, but he is not the only one that wants the world title in the piece of John Moxley.
That's a great point. As our main event about
I don't know what they want more. Do people want John Moxley or do they want the title?
of John Moxley,
Like, for everything that Moxley said, I can sort of understand a little bit of this.
his destructive band.
Well, now Moxley decides he wants to come out. What's the result of this match? Imagine MJF to hero AEW. It's weird, but it very well could happen. What I think happens here, it's Fight for the Fallen. The heroes do win it. This is a charity show. Remember that. No matter which way you got it. Copeland gets the win. 95% of the time, it is Wheeler eating the pin.
His dance card is pretty full up because this Sunday he heads to the Tokyo Dome to face
Yeah, Claudio leaves right after this match tonight.
protege, but Moxley dispatches
Shota versus Claudio. If you don't know Shota Umino, this will be nuts. Watching on Max, no buffering. I'm watching on TV. TSN, there is no buffering whatsoever on mine.
John Moxley did it. Well, however he did it, the brainwashing of Wheeler Yuta is what allowed Moxley
But yeah, with the heroes coming out here, I'm just excited for this whole week. You notice how Justin Roberts cut off his North Carolina chant just short? But yeah, they're getting down to the last 15 minutes here, so. But yeah, the fact that he had to cut off North Carolina because he knows Kenny Omega's entrance uses that full one, so. $15 minutes or half an hour. We only have 15 minutes. They're not going to go overtime that much. I think with the new contract, they're going to try and keep it as close to time as possible. But yeah, with the heroes from this hometown during the floods, there's no way they're losing here. But once again, everybody, this is just so much fun having you around. Just always appreciate all of you. The love is there. The love is there. I don't care who you are, Edge's song will always be awesome. Yeah, like, and the fact that his wife is the one that his wife's the one that did the AEW version of the opening part. I don't know. Most people know this, but if you didn't, that little part where he says you think you know him, that is Beth.
He trained Christian Cage, he trained Ron Hutchinson, and he was the man who broke the Coleman barriers.
I love how they're talking about Sweet Daddy Siki teaching Ron Hutchinson, which, to experienced wrestling fans, they do remember Ron Hutchinson running a lot of the Ontario promotions here in Canada. But if you don't know, it's heavily affected by the floods as well. Didn't have water for too. Hey, I feel for you guys. Like, I've been fortunate. We've been in like minus 40 weather, and areas 3 hours south of us were having rolling blackouts in the middle of winter, so they weren't getting any heat. I've been very fortunate. I haven't had to be a part of that. I think the scariest thing I've ever been a part of, if you're old enough to remember, in Alberta, there was a day called Black Friday. July 30th, 1987. It was there was a tornado that hit Edmonton. I was approximately 1 kilometer away when it touched down. There was a trailer park just off, in the northeast corner of Edmonton. We were on the main highway coming into Edmonton at the time, so we ended up in the ditch and just praying it didn't hit us. So I've pretty much been considered I was luck. I'm not 100% sure what the power was. Let me find out right now. I'll look it up while we're sitting here. F4. It was July 31st, 1987. It was an F4 tornado that landed in Edmonton. It was one of Canada's most destructive tornadoes that ever happened. And we were just lucky that we avoided it. I don't know how we did, but we did. And Moxley's just standing there, just what? In Edmonton, Western Canada, yeah. Edmonton, Alberta, Canada is where it was. You can look up Black Friday Tornado Edmonton for all the deals. It's not necessarily the plains. Like, we don't categorize our areas as that. We actually have... We're just one province over, essentially one state over from the mountains. Like, Western Alberta is a mountain range. So we are about as far west as a solid tornado would go. Southern Alberta gets a lot more tornadoes than Northern Alberta does. But also, our provinces are about 3 times the size of most states in the U.S. So, sorry, just quickly checking a couple things out here as we go. All right, there we go. Yeah, just seeing some bills going through, and I'm like, oh, wait, I charged for that? Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. As I remember, all the, you know how the subs are 25 to 30% off today? They were in September as well. So all my renewals are coming up right now, so. Just saying, oh, that bill went through. Oh, okay, I didn't realize the renewal was right now. Whoops. But, yeah, that tornado affected us. Hell, it must have been a good couple years before everybody fully recovered, because, hell, that was even a time where we didn't even have internet yet. Like, our school out in Redwater was the first school in Alberta that had internet access, period. This has been an entertaining show. Yeah, thanks, Nats, for throwing this back online here. And for a first night on Max... For a first night for a lot of people checking out wrestling, This has to be probably one of the better shows that you've seen. And once again, it does have a lot of that feel of Night After Raw. Now, do we see anybody closing out the show? Do we see any surprise come out? Do we get Beth? The organic flow is solid, yeah. Like, that's the one thing I've noticed about AEW. Like, this is probably one of the more promo-heavy shows that we've seen. But normally everything just works so well together that there's no time to... If there's a bad match, there's no real time to process it. That's been one of the bigger things. You don't have to worry about a bad match as much because there's so much content going on that it's all right. Well, you had a bad match. You're going back to the line, but we're gonna enjoy everything else that's good going forward here. That's why it was so weird. Shivani, shut up with the best that past the top of the hour stuff. But it's rough that. It's rough that the pay-per-view had the main event be that match that everybody wanted to forget about. Like, with the Copeland return, a lot of people are just going to forget about the results of that match, period. Cash coming in. Does he have his guns with him? Bully Ray complains about a lot. There is no breathing room in 2024 and late 2024. The shows have been so much more organized. Yeah. And the level of success is so high now. Like, when the fact that you have more stuff on TV, it just reminds you that you have to be good or you're not going to be watched. It's like content creators. There are so many more now that if you're not providing a useful product or a fun product for people to watch, people are going to go watch something else. And that's why I'm always so humbled when you guys come out here and choose to spend your 2 hours with me here, or 4, which I would recommend 4, but I digress, of AEW Dynamite every Wednesday. All companies have up and down. Look at WWE pre-pandemic. Yeah, like... Well, when Vince was around, that's what the majority of the problem was. Oh, Nick, I appreciate it. Like, and I don't say that just to feed my own ego here, or fishing for compliments. I legit am humbled every time somebody wants to come and watch. Just like when I watch people enjoy Dynamite as much as I do, it really makes me feel good that I'm supporting a good product. And for me, that just makes things super special. Yes, and we're getting Collision back on Saturday. No more moving Collision to Friday crap. If there's a pay-per-view, we don't get it. I love this. Never missed an episode of Dynamite since launch 19. Me neither. The only ones I haven't streamed on here are the ones I've physically been at. We missed one Dynamite because my computer exploded. That was the first time we were having problems with the computer. This last time, I believe, is the 3rd time we've had problems, and now I got to go take it in to get it looked at. Missed a few during a hurt. Well, I'm sorry. If an act of God is more, is going to cause that issue sometimes. Oh, these guys are working so well as a trio here. Copeland's getting the hot tag out of this. We all know that. As we hit picture-in-picture number 2, so I guess we are going overtime. That's on me. I live 25 minutes. There's no apologies needed for that. Come on now. Now, being a Nats fan, that's on you. That's just, where you live isn't exactly on you sometimes, so I'll forgive that. But hey, you know what? I would appreciate it if you were an Expos fan, not a Nats fan, but there is a difference between the two. Granted, I've been a Jays fan for years, and I'm almost paper bagging it at this point, so. Nick's a Canadian Royals fan. Hey, any team that, you know what? I'm not necessarily a Canadian Royals fan, but I'm a Crown Royal fan. If you're not a fan of Crown Royal up here in Canada, you know, it's a bit of a blasphemy here, but I very rarely drink, by the way, for the record, so we'll just, I make jokes about it. It's funny because there's a beer that comes out in Alberta, the small brewery here, and it's the only beer that I usually drink. It's called People Skills. It just seems to be such an obvious sign. I'll have to show you guys one day. I will pull one out here during a stream sometime. Like I said, I very rarely drink just because I work so much. And my original sponsor here on the stream used to ban drinking. So, Crown Royal is good. I rarely drink anymore, but I used to in vanilla and apple Crown. There's a maple Crown Royal as well. That is really smooth as well. But yeah, just watching this main event right now, like, we are in picture. That's why the focus goes away a little bit on it. But this is your prototypical WWE match in many ways on how things are going. There's no blood involved. There's no... Maybe once or twice a year. Yeah, like for the most part, I'm like... I might do it during Mania. I might do it during a week off. Thought we were coming back from commercial. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting back. I don't find a real reason for it. I don't go out a lot either, so it's great to have a great atmosphere like we do here every week. So for me, it just feels more comfortable being here than it is out and dealing with the filthy vermin of public life. So. I wonder how much extra time they're going to get here. Oh, there's a head-to-head. Bald. That's old school right there. Oh, this is going to be fun to watch. See, if you're tuning in, it's 8 o'clock right now on the dot, or 10 o'clock Eastern. You're coming in to watch what's next on TBS, or you're watching Max and there's something in particular you want to see. This is what you turn your eyes to. This is what you're going to see, right? Wipeout rerun. Hey, you know what? Wipeout isn't the worst thing in the world. Alrighty, they're going to fight all the way out of the building. Almost forgot about Wipeout. Hey. I'll take MXC over Wipeout any day, though. There is an MXC channel, by the way, if you didn't know. The referee was outside. They're not worried about a count out. MXC is phenomenal, yeah. Could never be reproduced now just because the commentary would not allow it. This is 2024. This would not be, or 2025, sorry. I gotta get used to, how long do you think it's gonna take to do that? To get used to that? Until April, a week.
Opportunistic Wheeler Yuta
I'll go 2026.
out his general John Moxley, the world champion. What's Wheeler going to try here? Oh, is he mocking Kobe or is he? Yeah.
No, he's going for the psycho knee. I don't know if I've ever seen Cope do a Liger Bomb before. Is that the new move that he's doing that he hasn't done before?
For Wheeler to get out of that. If Yuta was looking for the spear or the Psycho knee, well,
Because if you don't remember, Copeland actually brought it up in a few interviews that in every match that Copeland does, he wants to do one thing he hasn't done before. Granted, the last time he was in the ring, he did a leg drop off the top of a cage.
unsure to deliver a spear, but so are Claudio Castagnoli and John Moxley. They are behind him. They're holding on to it. Goes down.
Ow.
Second time he's got ring post, one high, one very low.
Cash Wheeler. With the champ on the floor.
Oh, God, that was the interception of the 20 right there. He and Bronson Reed did the same thing, yeah. The only difference is Copeland went for the fuckbuster, as I call it. I don't know if you guys know what the fuckbuster is. It's used to be known as the Harlem Hangover. It is a leg drop from the top rope. And the reason I call it the fuckbuster is because it busts your ass every time you do it. I love how Moxley just gives Shivani a big kiss for that. Will Copeland hit a Canadian Destroyer? No, I'll wait till Wednesday after Penta does one on WWE just to have the internet's mocking.
Announced as Cope just got back from a broken foot. Remember the history of neck injuries. Like was that John Moxley? Look at that gut stop, power driver. Away from inside the ring.
Well, we know who's winning the Battle Royal. Well, they almost got the shot they needed there. Well, Moxley's dead. Claudio intercepts on the 30-yard line. I like that. Shatter Machine lined up. And boom! Told you. Wheeler eating another pin. That's what he's there for. He's there to eat said pins. Especially on a charity show with the hometown guys working, right? Gonna give condolences to my microwave. My mom took it from my dad after the divorce when I was 6. Finally got the small new. Nice. Wheeler is the Kirby of pinfalls. Just can't have one. Give that a 7 out of 10. I would even say even more just because of the shot through the table. You got the hint that Jay White might win the gauntlet. DRW. Trying to remember who that is now. Is that for Jack Stain? As we go in, as we fade to black here on the show, I overall the show I give it. I really don't. I'm not big on rankings overall, which I find ironic because I just did a tier list yesterday. Basically, when I do these, only 9 because I get to see it without interruptions. I'd use a different set of rankings myself. I don't know if you guys remember the completionist. I go with him basically in the style of ranking I do. Worth going to check out again. Worth watching. Could have been a hit or miss. Why did I waste my time? And to me, this was worth checking out. There's nothing really to go back and watch again. Maybe that last match was worth it, but definitely worth watching. But it's not something I'm going to go back and run back and watch again. It was a fun time. And hell, it's definitely a lot of fun because I'm hanging out with all of you guys here. So once again, everybody, just thank you here. And it's going to set up for a very interesting collision on Saturday with the Learning Tree against Rated FTR. It ended at 7:07. I was 8 minutes. You know what? That's not bad. And you know what? Unless it's a title match, they've only been doing maybe 10 minutes at most. So it sort of makes sense.